Happy end of April, everyone. So seeing as how it's the end of April, I thought I'd do another one of those kind of like haul favorites type videos. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can click here and you can see the one I did for last month. So it's not really about like fashionable clothes or anything like that. It's more about cool shit I've been thinking about lately that I want to show you. So without further ado, let's do it. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is a card game. You might have heard of it. Who is it? It's called Magic the Gathering. It's pretty famous, I guess, and for a long time I had absolutely no interest in it. Weirdly enough, there was an episode of Adventure Time where they played like a card game that was obviously supposed to be Magic the Gathering, so it looked kind of fun, this crazy cartoon, so I thought, I'll look into the actual game a bit more. Anyone I talked to who tried to explain the rules to me did it in a really roundabout and overly complicated way. It's like,
each round you produce mana, and different colours of mana have different effects, and you do this by playing land cards, and you have to administer your land cards, blah 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 blah.
And I did not understand what they were talking about at all. So I ended up going into like a hobby shop and just asking the guy behind the desk about it. He explained it really quickly and really simply, and it turns out it's actually super easy. You build up a resource and you spend that resource on cards and moves. That's literally all there is to it. But the really cool thing that I ended up finding out about is that when you're playing against someone else, there's actually like this story going on between you, and that's the whole point of the game. Geek alert, this is gonna sound really nerdy, but this is what I really like about the game. You and your opponent both play like these mages called planeswalkers, and basically a planeswalker increases their power by traveling, so they take power from the lands they visit. That's why you play a land card at the beginning, and that gives you like a point of magic you can spend. And the different cards you play against each other are creatures or spells that planeswalker has encountered. You're playing cards against each other, but it's actually this battle going on between two mages. So you might summon a giant fucking three-headed snake and get him to attack the other player. The player summons a giant rhino, and that giant rhino gets in the way, and those two monsters fight, and one might kill the other one. And if that one's a special kind of monster, it could keep going and attack the other player. And that's just like one little move. That's one move. So anyone looking from the outside just sees you putting down different cards, and it's pretty dull. But when you're playing it, you can see what's going on in your head, and it's pretty epic. If you go into most shops that sell the cards, they'll give you like a little starter pack thing for free if you're nice to them. A really good place to start is getting the Deck Builder's Toolkit. You get a whole ton of cards, you get loads of land cards, you get loads of creatures and stuff like that. This one's from a while ago, but I got this for €25. Another thing you can do is you can get intro packs, but I got this one as a gift, and I haven't got to play with it properly yet, because what I'm leading on to talking about is I tend to get like these plastic sleeve things you can put your cards into. Maybe it's just me being kind of a clean freak. There'll be all the different links in the description below. But say you are really interested in playing the game or learning how to play, and you don't know anyone else who's playing it, there's kind of this campaign started called Friday Night Magic. So any of the major shops that sell Magic the Gathering cards, every Friday people will get together there and kind of hang out and play the game together. I've yet to go, but it sounds like a really good idea for getting out and meeting people. Next item, in case you didn't know, I shaved my head. See? No hair. I was really nervous about doing it at the beginning. Not so much about how fucking weird I'll look, but it was more about getting cuts and stuff on my head. So I looked around for different options for what to do. What I ended up finding was this little guy. It's called a head blade, and basically it's like a little Hot Wheels car. The razor blade is here, and there's like wheels that you roll along your head, and you just kind of do this with it, and it's real fast. Depending on the blades you get, it works really well. It came with a 4-bladed razor, which worked awesomely, and I got a bunch of like 6-bladed razors, which I thought were going to be even more awesome. Turns out they're kind of terrible. If you are thinking about shaving your head, or other parts, I'd recommend getting the 4-bladed razor. The actual company that makes this razor also makes like products to go along with it. So you got like Head Slick, which it's basically like shaving foam, but it's like kind of thinner, and it's more for your head. It works really well. You've got Clear Head, which is, I think it's like an alcoholic sort of scrub. It's supposed to like clear your pores and stuff like ingrown hairs and stuff like that. It stings like a motherfucker. Another thing they make is head lube. Lube. Whenever there's a picture taken of me, I don't like there being like a Michael Bay style lens flare off of my chrome dome. I get this and it gives my head like a matte effect. You can also use it like kind of a moisturizer, so it works, twofold. Probably the best product that they make to go along with the razor is this one. It's called Head Shed, and it's kind of like supposed to exfoliate your scalp and get rid of oils, and there's like nutrients in it or something. But the best thing about it is that it smells like chocolate. It's also brown, like chocolate. I'm not sure if it tastes like chocolate. Smells like chocolate, looks like chocolate, does not taste like chocolate. Next thing I want to talk about is a game on the PlayStation 3 that I've been playing a lot lately. It's called No Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. It's really not what I was expecting it to be. It was made by Studio Ghibli. If you don't know what Studio Ghibli is, it's basically like the Japanese Disney. I think they're actually owned by Disney. But I didn't have high hopes for this game until I started playing it. And holy crap, is the story intense, like straight away. It gets super heartbreaking, super quickly. It's really cute, oddly enough, but the gameplay is actually pretty awesome as well. And obviously the art style is real good as well. It's like you're playing a Studio Ghibli movie, which is weird. I think that's exactly what they were going for, and they definitely nailed it. There are kind of elements of Pokemon in there as well, in that you get familiars, and you can find them out in the wild and stuff, and you can train them, and they can evolve. Overall, like, the voice acting for the characters is really good. The story is f***ing excellent. Like, there tends to be a bunch of these little twists that happen, and you really don't see them coming. What looks like an animated kids game, it's really not a kids game. Although maybe I'm just really immature. It's been out a while, so I think the price has really dropped on it, so you can probably pick it up cheap enough. So, a comic I've been reading over the past little while has been one called Beasts of Burden. I'm a huge dog person, so I f***ing love this comic book. It's basically about a bunch of dogs that are helping defend their like little town from all these supernatural threats. When you start reading it, it's kind of lighthearted and has its funny moments, but when you get into it more, it actually gets really kind of sad. At some points even like dark. There are zombie dogs at some point, and they do not pull any punches. It's produced by Dark Horse Comics. I did not take down who drew it and wrote it, and you can read the first 3 issues for free on their website. So I definitely recommend at least trying the first issue of it. So that's kind of it for all the cool shit that I can think of right now. Hope you guys like them. I hope you're willing to try some of this stuff out. If you guys want to know any more about anything that I talked about, you can find links in the description below. Leave me a comment for anything else you want to know about them, or if you think there's something I should look up for like next month's video, definitely let me know. You could also tweet at me over Twitter, or we could have a bit of a chat about it on the Facebook page. If I get enough views on these haul videos in particular, I can actually start doing giveaways. So if you guys do really like these videos, definitely hit the share button down there. You can also like and leave a comment, and if I can up the amount of views that they get, then I can definitely start doing giveaways and start, you know, maybe trying to give back to you guys a bit. And just before I sign off, real quick, I just wanted to say I recently reached 1,000 subscribers. It makes me feel good knowing that at least one point someone thought one of my videos was good enough to click on the subscribe button. So thanks everybody for subscribing so far. Hopefully I can keep you watching. So I literally have nothing else to say except thanks so much for watching, guys.